Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Home Staging Talk Show Live. I'm Jenny Norris, your host, and I am the chairwoman of International Association of Home Staging Professionals. And I'm really excited about our show today. We've got two great guests for you. And as always, I got a couple of announcements before we get started. So thank you all for tuning in, those of you that are joining us. When you join in, if you could also share the segment, that allows us to reach as many people as possible with the information. So sickly nose, my allergies are starting, which is not good. All right, so first big announcement, of course, our conference, which is in Nashville, October 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Both of our speakers, we have JoAnne Lenart and Sandra Racz, are going to be on the show today, and they're both speaking at the conference, so we'll get to hear just a little bit about that, but mostly just learn more about who they are and what they're offering, their special things that they do. So the tickets are on sale right now. IAHSPconexpo.com is the link to go buy tickets. And so the price right now is a general admission price. The prices will be going up. The hotel rooms are fabulous. They just remodeled the wing that we're going to be in. And so you definitely want to get your tickets and get a hotel room reserved, because we're going to have a lot of fun and a lot of learning as well. So just to show you who's going to be there, as our speakers are here, that's the whole lineup. So you can see there's a ton of education, breakout sessions geared towards various levels, beginning, intermediate, and advanced topics. And then, of course, afterwards, we have our advanced stager training here. So there's our logo, and that's going to be for people who have 6 figures and above businesses. So if you have a business at 6 figures or above, you are eligible to attend. If you're working towards that and you believe by October you'll be there, then definitely sign up. It's a workshop with a collaboration of different leaders in the industry. So you have Marianne Cherico. Sorry, Marianne, that your head's covered by our logo. I apologize. JoAnne Lenart is in the middle. Kathleen Lewis Brown on the right there. Bottom row on the left, Melissa Morrow, then myself, and then Jana Usselton. So collectively, we are really excited to be able to share with people who have these advanced businesses to take you to the next level. So it's not really a lecture, it's more of a workshop, interactive, and you'll also learn a lot from your colleagues, because we'll break out into smaller groups. There's a lot of conversation that was really, really valuable that we just don't have time to get into in the conference. So you definitely want to register for that. And when you do that, you'll actually save money off your advanced stager training ticket when you buy a ticket also for the conference. So of course, our wonderful keynote speakers. Last week we heard from Kirsten Cressley, and so it was really fun. Tom Felicia will be on, as well as Candace, to the show, but they are going to be our keynote speaker celebrities. So Candace is on Friday afternoon, and then Tom and Carson are Saturday afternoon. So you definitely want to be there, don't want to miss it. And after each speaker is finished, then you'll have the opportunity to do meet and greet and pictures with them, which will be really good. And let's see what else. Other announcements here. Of course, our inspirational keynote is Barb Schwartz. So looking forward to that. She'll be speaking on Friday evening during our awards dinner that we're going to have on the General Jackson Showboat, which will be really fun. And it goes like 1 mile an hour. So don't be concerned about seasickness, because I get really motion sickness, but it's really kind of a fun venue, and looking forward to that. So Barb will be sharing during that evening. And then what do we have here? So we have also our, let's see if I can find it here, our wholesale market tours. These are filling up. So definitely, if you want to learn how to shop wholesale market, we have 2 coming up, one for Atlanta, which is the beginning of July. So it's going to be July 10th. And then at the end of the month in Vegas, July 28th. So if you're interested in learning how to navigate the different markets and also be introduced to our key vendors who are providing special promotional incentives and discounts only for our members, then you definitely want to register and come to one of those tours. And it's a full day, and there's some things you have to turn in ahead of time. And then at the tour, you'll get a lot of knowledge. Plus we leave you with a handout packet that has a lot of good information on terminology and things you need moving forward. So shopwholesalemarkets.com is the website, shopwholesalemarket.com, to get that information. All right, and then here's the website. I'll just throw it up there, Shop Wholesale Market. So that was really fun. So we usually have a group of about 20-ish people. Last time we've had about almost 30. We say we're going to cap it at about 20, 25. So space is limited. And it is fun to be able to do this with your colleagues. So make sure you register for that. And what do we have here? All right, I want to give a plug for, this is really exciting. So there's the ASP course is being taught in London for the first time. It's our first overseas actual course, and it's being hosted by or sponsored by IAHSP Europe. So thank you, IAHSP Europe, for doing that. Hosted by HSA UK, which is the Home Staging Association for the UK. And then Paloma has been really great about getting that going and supporting this event. And then it is being taught by certified course trainers with staged homes. So Verena Mumford and Sonia Radovinovich, I'm very good at saying her last name, will be teaching this. So it'll be June 10th and 11th. It's a two-day course, June 10th and 11th in London. So if you know somebody or you are interested, you're watching this, you'd like to take a class and get accredited in home staging, then you do want to register for this class. And there's a workshop coming up this coming week, May 23rd, for HSA. And when you attend the workshop and also come to the class, you'll get a special amount off. And then we also have grant programs available. So make sure to register for that. It's going to be very exciting. And we're really happy because it's the first live international course that we are involved with. So very, very good expansion. All right, I think that is everything. Hey, everybody. So good you're all on. So go ahead and share the segment, everybody, if you would be so kind. That allows us to reach as many people as possible. Hey, Anaheim class. Hope you guys are all learning lots with Kevin. So I love that you bring us in live. That's awesome. Hey, Edie. Okay, so I think that's all the big announcements that I have. So we got two guests for you today. JoAnne and Sandra, and so I think I'll bring Sandra on first, if you don't mind. We'll do this. This is going to count down for you. There she is. Hey.
Hi. I love a countdown.
No, get you ready. Okay, ready to go.
I know. Well, thank you for having me. I have to say, Jenny, as you were talking about wholesale shopping, I'm looking over my corner and I have over my shoulder, and it's like shop like you mean it. And once you start shopping wholesale and you cash that check, you will see the importance of it. So I encourage you guys to take advantage of, learning from people who've been doing it, because it does make a difference to your clients and your bank account.
Right. I know. And here I am, ran out of artwork yet again. So we're shopping at Home Goods. And so, I mean, the artwork prices, I got some really nice ones for like $39.99, big pieces. But I'm thinking, like, how much would those have been wholesale? And I know they get an amazing price, but still, it's like, right. I just kick myself every time. But it's, the old, don't know I need it till I need it.
Exactly. And you don't want your client sometimes to see that right. You could have gotten it there. Home Goods pretty good, though, about rotating things, but and it's good in a pinch. But when I started doing wholesale, it made such a difference. And it's, we hear students say all the time, I don't know if I have the nerve to do that yet. So I think it's great when you learn the system. It's not that hard. So,
and the great thing is, I think a lot of people think you have to buy in bulk, like the first order has to be thousands of dollars, but we've been able to negotiate a lot of that away. I mean, so like Olix, for example, I think they normally have an opening order of 3,000 or 5,000. We could buy a lamp. I mean, what they've allowed IHOP members to do. So, people that are watching, don't let that be a deterrent. Plus, let's say there is like a $3,000 minimum order and you're like, well, I've got 1,000. Well, then find a few other people that want to kick in on the order and then place it together.
Well, and that's the beauty. Going together and bulking order, doing the bulk order together. But when you guys negotiate this, you have more power than any of us individually. So that does make a big difference. And they are a great wholesale vendor, because I have shopped from them before and they're great. So.
Yeah. And so just kind of like, we'll back up a little bit. Tell everybody who you are.
Okay. I'm Sandra Racz. I am currently.
Sorry, I said it wrong. So it's Racz.
That's all right.
Okay.
Listen, my family says it wrong sometimes. So don't. We're still spelling it. So I am out in Scottsdale, Arizona right now. I've been here less than a year, so I can tell you some, what you need to do to start a business over. This is probably my fourth start up again. And so I am going to kind of try something new this time in my business and go back and forth from Park City, which is where I moved from. So I kind of go from Park City, Utah to Scottsdale, Arizona. So I started my business 17 years ago in Florida. I had been dreaming about doing this forever. And truly, I thought I was going to do more decorating than staging. But I was smart enough at the time, although I didn't know it, to get certified and have that education in both. And since my first 3 jobs were staging jobs, I thought, okay, this multiple revenue stream really was great. And I love staging. I'm a marketing major. And so I feel like I'm marketing a house, or I'm helping to market so that my clients even look better. So for whatever we're trying to accomplish. So I started my business. It's, continued to grow. I have changed the direction quite a bit. Thus the topic for what I'm speaking on at the conference. And my very second client when I started was a great client. I loved her. It was just a great relationship. I'm feeling really good about my client load at the time. And then she moved to California. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, now she was like, I'd gotten her like the second day I was there. So she calls and says, can you help me? I need somebody to help me make decisions in California. So this is before, e-decorating and e-consultations and e-staging was even, on the forefront. And so it kind of by necessity, that kind of changed. So my business has changed over the year. I do training. JoAnne and I are color trainers. And so I love what I do. I love the fact that it is growing and changing the industry. When you can connect with peers like this and, learn from each other, that to me is what's kept us current, kept us, still loving what we do. You have to like your job, and you'll find the right niche for you if you're going to have a huge warehouses or, more streamlined warehouses for your inventory. Right. So it just that's kind of what I've done.
What happened? Okay. Everybody froze there for a brief.
Just cut me off, Jenny. You need to
Oh, you're frozen again. Oh, this is not good. Hey, let me just check something. So we're all freezing or like on the screen. I'm just gonna make sure that Logan. Make sure nobody's on downstairs. No one on game.
I can see it.
You can see, yeah. So we were all kind of frozen. So it's just a signal thing. So we're all still there, which didn't blow us out, which is good.
On this call.
I know. So you were talking about staging and your marketing background, which I think.
Okay.
And I had done marketing and sales. So at its core, staging is a marketing tool to market the property, make it stand out from the crowd, help the agent market themselves differently. So, and I think when people understand that from the beginning, they have a different mindset about the process, because it's not that we don't want the houses to look nice, but it's not interior design. And exactly. So a lot of people are getting, hung up on, how it has to look. And we want it to look nice. I don't know if I'm explaining this very well, but I feel like there's a lot of emphasis on the things versus the results.
Absolutely great. In fact, one of the things that I will say to clients when we're talking in the consultation for staging or the agent, and it is an education process when you think about it, that I will go back to those marketing days and advertising days and refer to white space. It's like you don't get the message of the ad if it's a full page ad and just, full of all the words. You don't know what you're selling and what you should do. So if you don't have some creative white space in an ad or some breathing white space in the room, you can't travel through it. You can't appreciate architectural details. So I kind of refer back to that, in helping clients and agents understand.
Which is really true. Even like formatting a marketing piece, like you're saying, we teach that you do want to have the white space, because people don't look at all the words. People take so long to write all the content, and a lot of people don't even read it. They look at the pictures first. They're kind of like, they zigzag, that, go like this on the thing. Their eyes will travel and they're looking to try to figure out what is this piece about. And so I'm actually working on some pieces for my husband and son for their business. And it was a piece that they were going to use as sort of a general drop off. And I go, this is way too wordy. It's a really great piece because it explains a lot. So this would be like a second layer, like when you're sitting down with somebody, you can leave it. But I would never put this out up front because nobody's gonna read all this stuff. So
exactly.
But I love that approach of using like the marketing advertising technique in a house, because you don't want to have it so crammed full of stuff. There's no breathing room. And yeah, I kind of think sometimes the expectations of homeowners, like we were working on a property that I have to go drop some stuff off after this. The homeowner came in and he's like, then he starts piping up about what he thinks. Oh, my bed was like, 5 feet off the ground. I could, we had a much grander thing. And I said, well, that's for living. This is for staging and selling. And we want to have some breathing room and some space. But I just feel like, don't you just want to say something like, just stay in your lane?
Yeah. Well, I will tell you a funny story. I have a friend, and finally she got the impact of staging. And, one of my philosophies for our stagers, especially the new ones, is no begging. Nobody, if you're having to beg for the business, then you look like you're desperate, just like our houses that are vacant. They look desperate. So I came back, there was an awful lamp, and we knew that lamp was going out. So this was a huge project. So it was over a couple of days. So I come back and she has rearranged the ugly lamp. So I very sweetly said, oh my gosh, you are like slide 55, where the agent really wants to be the stager. And I said, no touching. Remember, that's in the contract. You don't get to move anything. So that was kind of my joke. Are you slide 55? So that's it was a sweet way to say back off. So
that is funny. So, do you still have a property in Salt Lake, or just clients that you're going to service?
No, I still have a house there that, and it's one of those things we're trying to decide if we want to sell that one. But I have to go back and stage it. I said, you can't ruin our own reputations as stagers. It has to be really good. So we'll go back there, and that's the beauty, guys. When you have relationships with clients, they'll wait for you. And I will very sweetly say, I'm not going to be back until, whatever date. I can recommend somebody to you if you would like, and referrals are awesome in our industry. But most of the time they will wait for you. Okay, no, I can wait till then. So I have clients there, and believe it or not, some of my Park City clients have bought second homes here, which second home markets are perfect for what we're going to talk about at conference in terms of consulting, whether you have, kind of the absent client or the absent home that you're going to be working with. So it's kind of working out. And, your website presence, your marketing efforts always pay off. Even, not taking ads out, I'm not referring to that, but when they can find you on the website, when you can participate in, things like this, events like this, just get your name out and let people know what you do and that you like it, and there's credentials behind your name, and they'll call you.
Absolutely. And I like that you said, don't be desperate for business, because I think some people in the beginning are, and that does come across. If you're desperate, then you feel like they're going to take advantage. So this is the Decorating and Staging Academy. So let's talk about what is this for people that are watching.
So the Decorating and Staging Academy is all about education. We've been around 20 years. In fact, JoAnne was the executive director when it began, and she was the founder of it. I've just tried to take over the helm from her.
Not trying, you're doing.
Oh, thank you. So we're all about education. So we have everything from staging, redesign, decorating, color, of course, and event planning. So you can earn your certifications. Our business and marketing, as we know there's an emphasis on that, is strong. So we have a free webinar every month all about education. In fact, JoAnne and I did that one last month on Color Made Simple with 8 tricks. And so
I'm going to share a tip that's so I'm like sensitive to words only because in our class, Barb, years ago, it would teach us about like listen to words. So you said the free webinar, which is great. And I've been telling you to turn it into say complimentary, only because there's no value in free. So so I always teach people, because even like a free market analysis on your house, I told my husband and sometimes I make it complimentary because then there's a perceived value behind it. Because otherwise there's no value in free. And you guys are worth every penny that people pay to get your information.
Well, that is a good point. In fact, it's really complimentary for a week, and then it has a very small price tag. And that's mainly, guys, just to get everybody to participate. So I even went back to, it's not complimentary forever. So.
Right. That's good. And then it's an investment because people have to invest in their education. I think the forums on Facebook and so forth are really helpful. There's a lot of people that are new in the industry and they don't take a class because they feel like, well, I'll figure it out. I'll go on these groups and you can spot them because they start asking questions about pricing or process or how do I get my first client? So, I don't want to be always like, take a class, you'd be that person, but really it's build a foundation for success. And I know for some, maybe the investment, the dollars behind it, they think, wow, that's a lot, but they don't realize the potential for the business and they want to set themselves up for success. So any kind of education is truly an investment in your future.
Absolutely. Though I said in the beginning, I don't know if my clients knew what these initials meant, but they knew they meant that I had invested in learning and trying to give them the best. So and we do try and give a nice little perk at the end of it. So a 48-hour special, so to speak. So we encourage you guys to join us for those.
So what is the website? Because I didn't put that up there. So
it's the Decorating and Staging Academy, or you can simply go to the-dsa.com. That was a little shorter than typing. There you go.
And then the other one is the-dsa.com. Whoops.
Correct.
I can't do two at the same time. Okay, there's that one. And then the other one is, okay. It's kind of cool that I can do this while we're on here. DSA.com. The DSA.com?
The DSA.com. Hyphen M after the.
Okay, oops. Hide. Okay, hang on. Make sure people are watching this in the future, they don't get the wrong one. The DSA.com. Okay,
I'm not sure what's easier,
That's right, correct. Yeah, the DSA.com.
Perfect.
So that's the website, and the other spelled out version. So lots of great information on there. And then what is this? So I saw this logo too. So is this your personal business?
Right. So when I started my business, this was before I was associated with the Decorating and Staging Academy. And this is where I say, guys, as a marketing major, I would not have picked Signature Redesign because it did not grow with me. So put a lot of thought into the names you're coming up with, your business names. So people just started to know me more by my name. So Signature Redesign or Sandra Racz is my client business. And then I have the training with the Decorating and Staging Academy.
I've had 3 different company names through the years. When I started, it was Envision Enterprises. Mm-hmm. And that stupid domain, I had envisionent.net because I can get .com. And that stupid domain still lurks around. I keep thinking like I've gotten rid of it and they've transferred everything over to sensationalhome.com, but that thing keeps resurrecting. And it was like envision the possibilities. I didn't really know what I was going to do with staging. So then I eventually transitioned to We Stage Sacramento because I had the phone number 888 We Stage. So then I rebranded. And then when we moved out here, I had to pick a whole new company name. And so it's
reinventing ourselves all the way around.
I know but the marketing side of it is really, really critical. And I'm excited for your topic at conference. So share everybody what that is. What's the title?
So you guys know we love it. I love a theme, and you probably love a theme if you're creative. So I came up with this title. In fact, how to hit the high C, meaning cash, since we're in Nashville, with E, staging, decorating, and consultations. So what I'm going to do in my session, so, if you're out there and you're thinking about it, you go, okay, this seems overwhelming. I've got to know Photoshop and all these complicated programs. I'm going to break it down for different levels for you. So if this is all new to you, you will walk away with some tips, some resources, ways to communicate to your e-clients. And if you know and want to take it to the next level, I'm going to give you some resource tips and ways to do that. So that's kind of my goal, is so that you walk away at whatever level you are, taking it to the next level.
So people that are listening, they're like, what does what does she mean?
Good point. So, and let me start by saying, when you are out there, if you have seen some of these virtual staging, the renderings of rooms that look absolutely nothing like a potential buyer is going to walk into, this is not that. This is really, how can you get like my client who moved to California. How can I work with her and solve her problems? How can we communicate with video, or can we FaceTime? And the other thing that we're really going to cover, because when you're not face-to-face and being able to capture the sign off with the decisions of, this client has approved something. So we're going to also take this to the business side of this to make sure you don't get burned. I mean, it's good for everybody that we know where we are. So the class basically is going to help you communicate virtually through a consultation, or I want to be able for you to show your staging clients what that room should look like. But then you also need to take it to the next step and give them the resources. You can't go make a really pretty room that will sell if they don't know now where to go get the stuff. Then they're just going to pop up a picture that's going to be misleading. If your job is to tell them the story of what the room should be so that they can sell it, and then how they're going to accomplish that. So that's what we're going to do. We are going to stage and consult and decorate without being able to touch anything, touch the home or the client.
Which is really cool, because I've done that just a few times when there was like a big, huge snowstorm and I was going to do a consultation. I couldn't make it. So then I said, just send me pictures of your house room by room from the doorway, move around the room, and then I'll do a consultation that way. So, but I think that what it does is it opens up the borders. So you're not limited anymore by geography. So you could do projects for anybody, anywhere in the world, actually.
Right. And what's nice too is, when you have established that relationship with a client, and, it's that love fest that we all are, seeking when we've got happy clients and they're calling you again and again, you've put that effort into that relationship. So by being able to communicate with them virtually, you keep that relationship going. It's always nice to build make new relationships, but this one's established. So why not continue to, capitalize on it?
So Virginia Youngblood was asking, is Zoom an option for the e-consultation?
It is. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. I will tell you, when the very first consultation I had, because, we're familiar with PowerPoints because we developed them for classes and so forth. We did a PowerPoint and we did a GoToWebinar. And the beauty of that was a good question, Virginia, is that we were able to come to an agreement of what we were going to do. We made the notes right on the spot. Everybody got a copy. Everybody knew where we were. The photos were included. And the other thing that's really nice, guys, when you are doing something like Zoom or GoToWebinar, the homeowner cannot dispute that the room looks cluttered when they're looking at it on a screen.
That's so true.
I'm sorry, there's 3, laundry baskets overflowing, and, so that's really nice. So Zoom and GoToWebinar are great options.
Well, and it's funny because for staging, it works. And then also, even like on the flip side, people want to know what to do with their houses, and maybe they work with you here and then they are moving away. Like you said, they can take you with them, you can help them. And there's even people that are coming from a state moving to an area that want help. Like they're coming from a different state moving to where you are, and they're saying, my house where you are, I want you to help me, but you're doing it remotely. There's also that ability too. So the whole technology side of things, it really allows us to not have to be physically in the same place necessarily. And it just makes it borderless.
And it works just like when you are together. Once you help them, once you've helped them stage a house, get to their new house, then they're asking you to help them with their decorating, their virtual decorating. And you go, now little Junior has grown up and he needs a new room. So you get to repeat it just like you would if they were down the street.
which is really great. So I'm excited for your topic. And so Sandra will be on Friday afternoon on our breakout sessions. And people have been asking when are they going to start signing up for those. So I'll start building that. It's on the to-do list. We'll build that portal and people, that list keeps growing. The people that register first will have first option to pick the breakout session. So those of you watching, I understand that that's the desire. So we'll make sure that works out for everybody. So, all right. So any last words? We're going to bring JoAnne on.
No, I'm excited and I can't wait to have another awesome conference. It was so educational last year and fun, guys. You'll meet a lot of new, you'll meet a lot of new people.
Oh my gosh, look at your glasses are so cute. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you were on. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, you had a good time last year, right?
I had a blast. It was my first conference and I was, thrilled to be there. JoAnne and I had a table, got to meet a lot of people and have a longer conversation. And so again, the camaraderie, guys, if you haven't attended one of their conferences, you will walk away, feeling like you've met new friends and that you could call somebody with questions if you had one, whatever the topic. So I encourage you to carve that time in your calendar.
Thank you. Well, I'm looking forward to having you there. And I don't know if I'll be able to sit in on your topic or not, because we'll have lots of activity behind the scenes, but all of the sessions will be recorded. So I know I'll be watching it probably after. So, but thank you for being on. And we look forward to seeing you in Nashville. So say goodbye to Sandra, everybody.
Bye.
And hello, JoAnne.
Hello. I had to put on glasses since you both were wearing glasses. I thought I wanted to be cool like the two of you as well.
So do you wear glasses for readers? Or are those just fake?
Those are just fake because remember I'm old and I just had the cataract surgery. Right. So I like to have brand new eyes again. So
I think I have to do that because I need these just for reading. I can drive fine without, but it's just my daughter and son or my daughter and her boyfriend got me these glasses that are blue light glare or something that help with the computer, but they're not readers. So I put them on. I still can't see anything. It's better for my eyes. I can't read. So I'm like, I have to get them a prescription or something in them. But yeah, these are Zalul. So Melissa Morrow had a pair of these kind of fun with the sort of the retro with the horn rim. And I thought, well, those are kind of fun because my other glasses were like these little skinny ones that went kind of just across. So
right.
World of people who don't know who you are, let's let people who know who you are and what you do.
I am JoAnne Lenart Weary. I've been in the business for a little over 40 years. You name it, I have done it over the years. Started with the wallpapering and painting business and a real estate license, and that led to staging. I have been teaching for the last 20 years. I sing, I dance. I can. Oh, not well, but by God.
See, now you just revealed yourself. So you might be roped up into some sort of something for the conference, like.
Well, let me tell you, my go-to karaoke song is Tequila because it only has one word in it. So that gives you an idea of how poorly I sing. So I will pretty much do anything just to get people to notice me because it's all about marketing. And that's how I've been in business for 40-some years.
So my go-to song is A Double Went Down to Georgia because it's a fast talking song. And
there you go. There you go. Yes, you can do that. You have lots of experience at that.
Well, so we want to talk about what you're going to talk about at conference. We had you on doing that before, but what I want to talk about is she has her color course that here's JoAnne's company's here, How to Decorate and Stage. That I pulled that off. I guess you can't see it that well because it's this rectangle. But tell people what that says. Your company name.
Well, that is How to Decorate and Stage, and then the color site is confidentcolorsystem.com. And so How to Decorate and Stage is basically about providing more online education, and that's in the building process. So there's everything from CE classes to just fun fill in the blanks kind of classes, as well as our certification classes. So I am really blessed, you know, after founding the Decorating and Staging Academy in 1999, like Sandra said, I stepped away 5 years ago from a leadership position and still work every day with Sandra. But I'm so blessed because I now get to offer education through you, through WFCP, through IDS, you know, through many other groups there. Other companies will hire me to write curriculum for them. So the one thing that I've learned over the years is I have a very practical way of explaining things. And I can understand anything that you've been through because I've been in it for 43 years. So any mistake you've made, honey, I have been there. I probably was the first person that did it. So I can really relate to what people do. And not only do I love the design part of the process, but I love the whole marketing thing. And you know, Jenny, that is where everybody falls down in the industry. You know, I just taught a class last week and I said to them, making a room look pretty is the easy part. It's having enough clients to make their rooms look pretty ongoing. That's the hard part.
It is.
So, you know, we have to be very well-rounded in this industry.
So confidentcolor.com, is that the right domain?
Confidentcolorsystem.com. Sorry.
And then the other one is howtodecorateandstage.com.
Correct.
Okay, now this is correct. All right, this is the correct little thing. So Confident Color System. So talk about the color course, because we have put those on our site. So we are partnering, IAHSP is partnering with JoAnne to bring the Confident Color course, and also probably the decorating one, we'll have that one as well, to our members. And so members receive a special promotional incentive that reduces the price. So let's talk about this online and also in person.
Okay, so let's talk about the online class first. So my online class is a little different version. I call it a blended class. So it begins with a live event, which is recorded. So if you miss it, you can go back. But that first live event online is with me. And so it helps you to get all set up and know what you're doing and do the basics. There are 10 modules in the course, which you can access on demand. But 3 times during the course of that class, you'll have a live session with me. So that way, you're not just processing the information and saying, boy, did I get that? Do I understand that? I want to be involved with what you are doing. The other thing is we use a Sherwin-Williams deck. What we do can be applied to anybody's deck once you understand the process. So, you know, the Sherwin-Williams deck is like this, although the new version is square and not rounded. But one of the things we do is we break that deck down into individual palettes. So now it becomes very user-friendly, and you will be able to create. If I said to you, I need to know a split complementary with a blue violet, and it needs to be a blue violet that has more violet than blue, in mere minutes, you would be able to go in here based on our coding system. And if you hold this up, you'll see that, you know, we have numbers on the top of everything. So with our numbers and letters, it's like GUR-animals for color.
That's awesome.
The alligator went with the alligator. In this case, the numbers go with the numbers, and it's based on hue bias and hue family, and you'll pull it together in no time. So I adore this class. I launched it in 2007. And the online version, this is a brand new class. So the core is still there, but I've just updated everything. I've been immersed in color samples. So that class typically is $9.95. We are doing a $200 discount for IAHSP members until the 20th. They can take advantage. Jenny has the link, and it'll also be on my website. I'll post it on my page. The live class will launch May 23rd. And then, as I said, You only have a few live sessions, but it's kind of like I have office hours too, so that you can come in and ask your question, and, you know, address your challenges. We had a group take it after the last IAHSP conference, and they all said lovely things. They even bowed to me when we were done. So hail to the queen of color. So I promise you, you're going to look at color in a whole different way. This is not, it's color theory, the part you need to know. And it's understanding how to blend the science of color with your artist's eye, whether it's for staging or design. I
know that Mary Sally and Lala took the class. I'm sure there's a few others. And so those of you that are watching, if you're like, oh, you know, I wonder if they would tell me their feedback, reach out to them, because they just couldn't say enough good things about the class. They just were like, they were floored. And they've both been in the industry quite a while and probably have been doing color recommendations and talking about color, but this just blew their mind as far as what was covered and how it was presented and just how it makes sense. And so that's why they bowed to you.
Yes, yes. And I and of course a girl loves to be bowed to. There's, you know, no doubt about that. Yes, and even a little crown and everything. So, you know, the whole idea, and the reason I call it the confident color system, is I am very ADD. And so over the years, I find that I have that bright, shiny object syndrome. Whether it's working with my clients or whatever, I'd get distracted. So everything I do has an order to it. So I know if I do A, B, and C, I'm going to get D every time. And I think within our industry, that's probably part of the problem, is that inconsistency. If you don't work in a systematic approach, whether it is your walk and talk with your client or your color consultation or just the way you pull together a package, if you don't have a system that you follow, you're going to have inconsistent results. So you may have a room that you go, whoa, nailed that one. And then the next job you say, yeah, I could have done a little better. If you follow a process, you can nail it every time. And as creatives, we need that a systematic approach to blend with our artist's eye.
Right. Yeah, because it's, I like the idea of having the consistency is important, but it's also the systematic, because then you can teach it to other people.
Exactly.
It's a process. Exactly. It's not like, you know, the people that keep it all inside and they don't document, they don't really think about that. Do they have a process? And it's, you know, because there'll be times when maybe you're not able to do the staging or you want to transition out of it. And if you don't have a process that other people can follow, then it's going to be really hard.
Absolutely. And I have to say, as I said, I launched this class in 2007. And of course, like everything, it has evolved over the years. My students help me to be a better teacher. I know you can relate to that. Someone will ask a question that you say, you know, I never thought of it in that way. So how do I address this? And I do all of my training. I update annually because it's just important. And as I said, this color class has just had a complete makeover, but I want people to feel that they can take the fear out of the process. And, you know, let's be honest, color is the most intimidating part. And I also want to say that even though we're working with a color deck, this is, I always tell my students, this is no longer a paint deck, it's a color deck. So when we're talking about how to use color, we're talking about it in decor, in furniture, and textiles, in art. So it's not just about picking the perfect paint color. Right. And then we'll also understand things like, you know, we all hear the term undertone, but if you understand that undertone really relates to hue family, where did that color come from originally? So, you know, if I'm looking at a strip, and I'll just see if I can pull something up real quickly. If I'm looking at a strip that I know is actually an orange, even though it's the neutral version of orange, and of course I didn't grab that one palette to show you, but if I know that I'm looking at a orange, then I know that it is going to be warm when it goes up on the walls. So understanding hue family is critical, and you will be able to work with anybody's spec, and understanding the power of saturation. And that's the piece that people don't get because they don't compare colors in context. So,
Well, I thought,
awesome class.
yeah, so I thought of you. I was walking through, where was I, Home Depot? I think it's Home Depot or Lowe's. Anyway, I was at one of those stores buying nails and crap for my toolkit because they'll keep disappearing. So, but anyhow, but I noticed in their paint section that they had, they have like their outdoor, inspiration thing, but they had it by saturation. So they had all the heavily saturated colors together. And I was like, JoAnne would be so proud because
I would be so proud. Yes, I would.
You don't
be
have like
so,
a really
so
saturated with a faint color. And I just was working with a client where they had used gray, and somebody ever picked it. It's purple. It cast purple. And I said this undertone was, the parent color, original color was probably something that had this purple. That's where you're getting this casting color on the wall. And like, oh, we never thought about that, because they just look at the name. They look at like a little thing and they go, oh, that'll look nice. And
right. And you have to understand how to compare. So that, the other great thing about this class is I always say it's about training your eye. So, what you and I do, Jenny, is everyone that comes to our classes comes with that natural talent, or they wouldn't be there. We are there because God blessed us with that ability to see color and sense composition and balance and all of that. Our job is to help them to understand the why. So when you say that is the right color, or you say the sofa belongs over there, or you say you need to do this in the room, let me tell you why. So I never say to my clients, I think we should. It is always, Mary, let me tell you why we need to do that. So for you as a professional, it's so empowering when you get the why behind the process. It's not your gut instinct start you going, but you need to understand the why.
Which is really important, because that also motivates the seller. Sometimes they're like, I'm not doing that. And then when you can say, this is why, and it's not just because I think it's going to look better over there. It's this is why from a professional perspective, and the thing that they'll be like, okay,
Absolutely. So, for everything that we do, it is about building credibility and validating the suggestions that we make to our clients. I've been around a long time, that when I saw in the early years, there was such an arrogance in the design and design related industry. And these women would just breeze in, and men, just because they were blessed with that talent, they thought it made them superior. But sometimes our gut instincts aren't right either, because we all have our own decorating DNA, as you've heard me mention before, are darn near always. So we can get ourselves in this little box that our darn near always has us doing the same furniture arrangement every time, the same color palette, same fabrics, and we kind of phone it in. So if you understand the why, it gives you the freedom to go outside your comfort zone. So
I'll say it's so hard. I see that throw behind you, that turquoise aqua. That's that very popular color. And so, and I know it's like the decorating DNA, you don't want to use the same colors, but it's so hard for me not to just grab everything in that, because I love that color.
Yeah.
So, and because we have a lot of it, then you like add to it. So it's taking it and making a conscious decision. Like, I'm not going to use the blues. We'll go with, yellows and grays or something else, just to kind of break it up.
And Jenny, that is such a good point, because I dare say if we looked at 90 portfolios right now, most all of them are going to have this. So that's what I keep saying to everybody. Let's move away from this. And even like when you see my piece of art here, it has the aquas and the turquoises and blues in there, but it also has the oranges. So in the winter, I'm going to change the throw out to that rust color. And so
if that pro was in my house, it'd already be taken to another house, because we don't have enough. I have 2 on the staircase right now. I'm taking to a house that came out of my bedroom. I'm like, I don't want to go buy anymore. I'll just use these.
Absolutely. We have all been there. We've all had bare naked rooms, especially early in our career, where it's like, oh my God, I got another job and I don't have enough inventory. So
that picture probably would go at one point too.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
So talk about the other piece of it. So you have the decoratings. We have the color course, which starts on May 23rd. So everybody that's watching, you can register for that. You can go to the IAHSP.com site and you can click under, I think it's either under education or events, and the color course is listed. So you can click on that and then go register and then talk about the decorating.
Okay, so also in the color class, we're talking about the live or the online, because we're running that $200 off special. But also I'm coming to, between Sandra and I, we are going to be in Toronto, Boston, Chicago, Charlotte, Richmond, Scottsdale, Denver, all over. And those classes are $100 discount. And so there's a special code that IHOS members can use so that they can get that discount. Okay, so then
the live class, I sound like I'm like weird. Do I sound weird to you guys? Like I'm in
no,
like, okay.
no.
I'm hearing feedback or something. It sounded like I was like a Chewbacca. Okay, so are the live classes, how many days are they for the
live
color?
classes are 2 days.
2 days, okay.
It's a 2-day workshop, okay?
Okay, and then the color, this decorating class.
Yeah, so the decorating class, one of the things that I kept hearing out there is, yeah, I have good gut instincts, but I need to know more about decorating. And let's be honest, Jenny, you and I both have been teaching for a long time. And even when we do a 5-day class, I can pour so much information in your brain that you forget half of it when you leave. And also, you don't need it till you're on the job. So I have created an expanded decorating for stagers class, and we will give a launch date on that in June. I'd hope to have it done in May, and life did not allow that. But just so that you understand the difference between design and staging, but also how to apply those design principles. So it goes back to the why again. Why do I want to rearrange myself? And what is the best furniture arrangement for staging? And let's be honest, we're all kind of doing the same thing. And I did a job the other day, and I was teaching a class in Seattle, and I put the furniture on the diagonal, and someone said to me, "Are you allowed to do that?" It's like, well, hello. Yeah, God and I talked about this. We're cool. But, you know, we need to bring that element of creativity into our jobs. Now, I did it on the diagonal because it was what was best for the room and what I call the price validators. You know, why is this house worth 1.8 million? Right there, that view, that fireplace. So by placing the furniture on the diagonal, I was embracing the price validators. So everything we do has to be purposeful. And so the decorating class will delve into that deeper. And students will be doing design and concept boards because, you know, let's be honest, first of all, it's a natural evolution from design to staging. Now, I went the opposite way. I started with design and then added staging. For many people out there that are staging, the next level that's going to put more money in your pocket, and that's why we're doing this. I mean, we might have started doing it because we love beautiful rooms, but we need to be paid. So being able to expand on your abilities and that natural talent you have, this class will help you with that as well.
Which is really cool because I feel very intimidated with the whole like picking First of all, the fabric picking situation, I don't have a lot of patience for that. So if I, you know, but I know this, I get asked by clients, like, will you help me put my house together? And I used to say I draw the line at fabric because I don't want to help you reupholster your furniture, do your drapes. And so I'd refer them to somebody who likes doing that. But I can see the whole thing about kind of pulling a look together, is, you know, from paint to, you know, countertops, flooring, but even like the upholstered pieces in there, like how would you do that? And that's something that I never have done.
Right.
And so I think there's probably a lot of us that have never done anything like that. And yet it is an income stream that we're missing out on because of that.
Absolutely. And, you know, Sandra was talking about e-design, and e-design comes in all sizes and shapes. And so the ability to feel comfortable creating a concept board, to create a shopping list, to specify and possibly delve that into, you know, take that into an e-design train. That is a huge niche of our industry that is growing. So again, your client doesn't have to live within your 20-mile circle. So we all have to be thinking of what we can do to stay in business. As I said, here I am almost 44 years later, in spite of myself. Oh my God, Jenny, I've made so many mistakes over the years. But quite frankly, at the beginning, I was too dumb to realize that I should have thrown in the towel. I just loved houses so much. It's like, get out of my way. Here I come. So I want to help people to understand that, gain that enthusiasm, but also gain the understanding of the why, so they have the confidence and it empowers them.
And you posted on Facebook a couple months ago, it was a statement that I'm paraphrasing, but if you think you don't need to know decorating and staging, guess again. And in our classes, we teach that staging and decorating are not the same. Decorating is personalizing, staging is depersonalizing because we don't know who the buyer is, etc. However, there are the principles that do overlap. Absolutely. And then I think the caution for some is like, there are people, if they go from design into staging, I don't want to generalize, but there seems to be a lot more focus on things and the aesthetic and so forth, which of course it depends on the property. You want that to look nice. And so being able to know when to take the decorator hat off and then put the stager hat on, or vice versa. So I think it's very valuable.
Right. And I think the key thing with staging is simply we're going to have more negative space. I mean, it's as simple as that. You're going to have more negative space. That wall that is calling you to get a piece of art, have a piece of art hung on it. If I'm staging, it may not matter because I'm going to find the selling walls in that house. I'm going to build from there. So that's one of the distinct differences. And really, I still feel even with staging, we are personalizing, but we're personalizing for our target market. Right. Not for one individual. So I need to know what, makes someone happy if I know my market's a 30-some, and that goes back to understanding design again.
Yeah, I think so. These classes are going to be really, I think, very popular. So those of you that are watching, as though the link is not working. So Berkey let me know that. So, all right. Well, that's not good. The page works because I built the page myself. I put all the content on. So I'll get Derek on that today. I'll make sure that the link tests that it's not. So I wonder if it's a link to get to your class is not working. So I'll test that.
Okay. All right. We'll find out.
I can't check it right now, but I'll check it as soon as we get off. So it might be the page is fine, but the link doesn't take them anywhere. Okay. So I want to make sure.
Yes. We'll get that remedied. But thank you for going to check it out. That's like, whoop, whoop. I'm glad that they're looking that next step.
And then Brigitte is actually asking for the online course to register. Could you please send the exact link for the registration for your page? So I don't know if we can copy and paste that in here in the comment section.
Okay, I will add that as soon as we are done, and I'll check all my links. Okay,
perfect. Well, any last thoughts at all? It always goes by so fast.
I know it does. I can't wait to see everybody in October at IAHSP, and thank you for inviting me back to speak again. I am delighted. As Sandra said, I speak for many arms of this industry beyond the staging industry, and going to the first IAHSP convention was like, oh my God. Everybody was just so warm and friendly. And not that they aren't at other events that I have gone to, but just such a wonderful energy there. So I'm honored to be back. I know that Candace and Carson and Tom were so honored that they get to be on the same stage as me,
Exactly.
So I love that you guys bring in that sizzle with it, but I just can't wait to share with everybody, and just know that I'm very approachable. If someone has questions, comments, you have a problem job, I'm your girl.
And we'll be Friday morning on the main stage, which is one of our first speakers we'll have up. So really looking forward to that. And then she's also doing the advanced stager training workshop. That's Sunday, Monday. So she'll be there those 2 days as well. So, all right. So we'll get the links up for you guys that are asking for those. So you'll be able to, she found it, confidentcolorsystem.com schedule. So, so that's good. So Brigitte put that up there on the page, and then I will, Oh, that's
But
the
I'll
page.
post-
The link that's
I'll
not working. Okay.
I'll post. Okay. All right. We'll check that then, because you guys have a special link anyways. And we are doing a color class preceding the conference in Nashville as well. Okay.
So that,
So-
when is that going to be? That'll be on Monday, Tuesday, or?
Yes, it is. I think it's October 2nd and 3rd, I believe.
So it's Wednesday, Thursday. Because there's Thursday, third to fifth, Wednesday, Thursday, because the third is October 3rd is a Thursday. So your class is Wednesday, Thursday.
I think, but I may be wrong without looking at my notes.
Yeah, so she'll give us the dates and then we'll send it out. And then, but that's exciting. So you can come to the conference ahead of time, take the class, attend the conference, go to the advanced, just make a week of it.
Yeah, just make a week. Just pack your suitcase, get a big tube of toothpaste and a big tube of deodorant. Life is good.
Have you ever been caught in the airport without and like overnight and not had your toothpaste and deodorant?
Oh yeah, that's awful. That is awful.
I started traveling with at least deodorant in my bag because I've been caught twice overnight, and then poor Betty was stuck. I don't know what airport she was in. She had to spend the night, and then she got caught in Texas recently with the floods.
Oh, I know, poor Betty.
I was like, I'm glad she was safe, but I'm just thinking like, thank God I'm not out there having to do that as much. I mean, I'll still travel and teach, but I'm not the road warrior anymore like she is. So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for the show. Next week, I do want to let everybody know, I just got confirmation of this, that Candace Olson will be one of our speakers next week, guest, I should say, on our show, which is really exciting. And then I think it's Kat Trelinos and my thing are going to be also on the show talking about their topic. So I have my little cheat thing here. What does this say? Is this right? The 22nd. Oh, here it is. So it's Kat and Sheila Dragon. So Sheila is, she'll be part of the investor staging designation that we're giving out. So she'll be sharing along with Kat, and then Candace will be on. So I'm really excited about that. So make sure not to miss next week's show. This one, of course, we'll save and we record all of them, and they're up on our site on homestagingtalk.com. You can watch them there, or also our YouTube channel for IAHSP. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you, JoAnne. Thank you, Sandra.
Bye.
Really enjoyed having you on, and we'll see you in Nashville in person, if not before somewhere. But love you both. Thanks for being on. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.